Welcome in everyone. I for some reason got I don't know. They kept sending me like options to change his appointment to have it sooner, and I think one of those times kept getting stuck in my head. So I thought his appointment was this morning when really it's this afternoon. So I'll stream now so that I can go to that later. Um okay, I did what is up with this? Reload. Start. Okay. I don't know what's up with the closed captions if they're working or not because normally they like appear in the box and they're not right now. So it's whatever. But we will be doing the flying machine today, which again is a small build. It's less than 500 pieces. And then I have my cross stitch that we decided on Tuesday, all ready to go. Um, I got the fabric cut and on the scroll frame, but it's like just long enough like to put in the tracks and twist. So I don't know if it'll be something I keep on the scroll frame or have to take off, or maybe I'll have to try my other scroll frame. So I have a plastic one and a wooden one, and I don't like one more than the other, but my wooden one, oh, that's why it wouldn't bend. The bags are right up against where it goes in. That's much easier now. Um, the wooden one of the screws is like stripped, so when you try to tighten the nut on the back to keep it, from moving, it doesn't really get tight, and I keep forgetting about it, like until I'm ready to use it, and then I'm like, dang it. So I need to like take that nut screw whatever to the hardware store and get a replacement. Welcome in, KK Bills. We are it's I know it's much earlier than I normally stream, but I have adulty responsibilities later. So ooh, look, I keep these are the only kind of paper bags I've been getting are like with extras in them. And these will be the wings, whatever I guess you'd call them, for the flying machine. Um but I hope you have been doing well, and I will get you a shout out in just a second. Yeah. So it's the three pieces, like the two big wings and then like the tail wing. Um but yeah, these are the only paper bags I've been getting, which I guess is more than I was getting before because I was getting no paper bags before. So okay, let me move these out of my way and so I can get to my keyboard. Plus I don't need those. Out. There we go. But yes, I hope everybody has had a good couple days in between the streams, and you know that things in general are going good. Oh, I forgot I need to pay my Frosty tool, so we'll just have weird shout outs today. That's all right. I will do them the other way. / shout out. I know how to. Oh no, I have to spell it out. There we go. Haha, you can't defeat me, Frosty Tools. It just won't be like the whole creative shout out. I need to like put it in my my phone as like a reminder or some kind of reminder because I pay it and I'm like, ooh, and then 30 days later I'm like, huh? What? Yeah, I don't know. I swear I'll look at this and I'm like, there's no crumbs, and then I like move my hands and I feel like everything, like every possible thing, and it drives me batty. We are, I don't know. I'm barely awake, I think. Um, so this first couple pages talks about the artist, the artisan, and the architect that Da Vinci was. And then it talks about how birds were his inspiration for the flying machine. And then, of course, about the Lego design team. Oh, sorry. It's not early. I just, for like, I have had insomnia of some sort for like as long as I can remember. And so for like the past 2 nights, I've actually slept normal, but like the week prior to that was like, no. And then I go off like all day off like 2 hours of sleep. So oddly enough, I'm more tired after getting a full night's rest than I am off just 2 hours of sleep. It doesn't make any sense, but that's how it is. Congrats to Alex on first and Legendary Trell for second. Right? I do too, but like I said, I forget. Like I pay it, and then 30 days later, when you need to pay it again, my brain is like, "Huh? What?" Yeah, and because it won't let you like if you're down to like 2 or so days, it won't let you like pay then and it just start. It's like, nope, you already have a subscription. Like you have to wait until it ends. So yeah, that's how it kind of is. It's almost like worse. Like I'm sleeping too much. It's I don't understand it. My body is so screwed up that it's like, no, this is it's a normal amount of sleep. And my body's like, nope, you've slept too much. But the both tiny turdlets had their first physical therapy Tuesday afternoon, like after school, and it went well. They both confused their physical therapists. They were wearing band t shirts, and both their physical therapists were like, "Is that a band?" And then they were like, "Yeah, we don't listen to that kind of music." So they just had like loads of questions about the music they listened to. But now we get to go to physical therapy twice a week, you know, until they say they can stop. But Boy Wonder's physical therapist, because it's both his knees, like he did he dislocated one like almost 2 years ago, and then he just did this one in February. Um, but because the problem really lies in both knees, he was feeling his other one, and he's like, yeah, it probably wouldn't hurt to do these exercises on both legs. Like, you know, it wouldn't hurt. And also, even after you stop coming here, you should keep doing the exercises. I slept up until around 12 on the verge of withdrawal because, oh no! Good morning, crazy. Hopefully, your day is going well. I think he's in class this week, or maybe it was just a class a couple days. I don't know. There's another one hiding in here somewhere. Oh no, over there. Cool. Oh, okay, yeah. I was like, I don't know if it was a 1 day class or a multi-day class or, you know. I guess I can give you a shout out the other way too. Did it give Alex a shout out? Yeah, she said that she was getting one. Okay. Out, out. No, that's not what I wanted. Shout out. Even that I have to wait 2 minutes. That's rude. I should be able to do as many shout outs in a row as I want. Yeah, she said she was getting one because of the class she did this year. Yeah, he wants its money. I can't remember. Like, even if I look at it and I go, I have 2 days left, I will forget. I need to create like something in my calendar that reminds me. Get in the hole. Frosty will just have to wait for its money. You had pie? What kind of pie, Alex? I'm gonna be honest, I don't really like pie. I like peanut butter pie and chocolate pie, but I don't like the mushy fruit pie. I can't do that. Ah, I can do that kind of pie too, but I can't do the mushy fruit pie. I have issues with food textures, and the mushy fruit pie is. It's almost like what I think we consider like pot pie in the States. It's like your meat and potato pie. No. Okay, get it lined up, then push. Yeah, I want to say that's probably the closest like comparison is like we call it pot pie. So here it says one of Da Vinci's machines known as Il Grande Niblo was inspired by and named after a bird from the. Okay, I'm gonna murder this word probably like I murdered that other name. Accipitrid. I don't know. It's named after the kite. Yeah, like so in the States a pot pie sometimes they sell them as like a big full one, but so usually they're like individual size. So it's like a little pie pan or whatever. And then it's like it looks like a mini pie, like the way the crust is, and then it's got like meat, potatoes, carrots, peas, celery, whatever, like whatever veggies you want. And then the pie crust on top. And so it looks like a mini pie, but it's got like sometimes you can get like chicken ones, so like chicken, like of course like a white gravy because it's chicken, and then it'll have like broccoli or carrots or whatever. Sometimes just carrots and peas, basically whatever kind of veggies you want. Especially if it's like homemade, it's going to have whatever veggies you want. The ones from the store, you don't want the veggies, right? Like if you don't want veggies, you don't want veggies. The ones from the store usually have like carrots and peas with whatever meat and potatoes. I don't like peas, so mine never has peas in it. I make a pot pie soup in my crock pot. Yeah. See, ours is more like, I mean, it's still like pinched closed like a pie, but it's not like a pocket. I assume you could probably get ones like that made like that too, though, because we sell like a fried pie that is like that. It's like a pocket, like a mini calzone almost, or like a pierogi, closed. Helps if I hold it right. Nope. Did I do that wrong? I did. I put these two pieces on that side. My goodness. There we go. Oh, come on, just get on there. Yeah, like hot pockets. It's closed all the way around. But hot pockets are disgusting. They're never the same temperature all the way through. So one part burns your mouth and the other part is still ice cold. I don't have to go get Joe for another 2 hours. School are keeping him until 5. Woohoo! Is it kind of like the music thing where he stayed after, or is it like something else? Some activity, I would assume. Yeah, because we're so close to the end. Fantasy doesn't have after school things anymore. They've all stopped because we're just about at the end. So it makes sense. It's just, augmenting time because of it. Like changing when I do things. So I tried to be good when we went grocery shopping last night. I said, we don't have to go to Target because nothing on my list is at Target except for Legos. So I didn't go to Target. Just went to Sam's Club. Guess what they had at Sam's Club? Lego. So I got Lego anyway. But only a small set. The new like mini flower bouquet set. Which was what I was gonna look at Target for anyway. So I was destined to have it. I told them just how badly he was behaving at home, and they have set up for him to go to after school club for a few days a week to give me a bit more of a break. Well, that's nice that they're, I mean, if nothing else, they don't seem to really want to help in any other way, it seems. But at least this, you know, at least it's some help. And we have our little pre-printed brick. It says Leonardo da Vinci's flying machine. Okay. They have this like this. Then we want to put this like this. So this is like the little stand. It says Da Vinci famously wrote in his notebooks in the backward handwriting. It could only be read correctly when reflected in a mirror. Or, if you have a ninja reading, if you can ninja read, you probably could have read it. So, that has been a joke like since I was in school. Like, people I knew my age called it ninja reading. If you could like somebody sitting at their desk writing the correct way, if you could stand facing them and look down at their work and read it, they called that ninja reading. Like, because you could read like essentially upside down and backwards. Okay, we can set this aside. We're moving to like a different thing that we will later attach. Okay. 3, 6, a 12, 12 and an 8. Yeah. So last night when I went to Michael's to get the thread I needed to start the new cross stitch, they had them set up in like the weirdest um order. Got a meeting with the deputy head tomorrow morning too for them to see if there's anything else they can do. I don't think there is, but I have to go apparently. I guess when they decide to help, they demand your cooperation. Yeah, like instead of being like, okay, this is 0 essentially, and then all the way across and back, it was like the first number I was looking for was like 738. So I found it here and then 739. And then you're like, okay, 900 should be like, because it was like in the center one. 900 should maybe be down there. But no, it was like over here. Like they were not actually in order. It was really strange. I was like, well, am I wrong or is this thing wrong? Like you've been trying to get help or whatever, get the school to cooperate with you for a while, and it didn't seem like they wanted to, but now I guess that they've decided they will. Oh, come on. Maybe they don't want to actually sell them, so they're making them hard to find. Yeah, like it was like really weird. Like, so what we wound up doing was having Crazy stand, because like I said, it was like 3 like shelving unit things, because they're like little tray. They hold like the skeins, so they have like little trays that are only like this big in them. It was like 3 of those like specialty units like on the bottom of the shelf. And so Crazy stood in front of one, Fantasy stood in front of another, and I stood in front of the last one. And we're like, okay, is it in yours? Is it in mine? Because in theory, you should be able to just run your finger kind of down and they should be in numerical order, but they were in some really weird order. And I keep pinching that side because I want to just grab on, but that's not the side I want. So it made more of a base, I guess. Now we do it again. Right. It's like, oh, let's get our crap together now. This way, maybe so they can say they've done their best when he goes to that other school next year. They can be like, I don't know, we offered help or we had meetings. So they can make it seem like they did something. Now that somebody else has the potential to see whether they did something or not. You know what I mean? Because the other school will be able to look back at his records and see what was done or not done, as the case may be. I mean, they kind of did the same thing when we were having issues with Boy Wonder. Like, once, like, we kept complaining about it. And then once he got in trouble and we were like, well, we told you this has been going on. Then they were like, oh, well, let us try to help you. Just keep him in school just the couple more months. And then next year, we'll see if he can get into this other type of school. Like, no, I'll just take him out and do the homeschool. Well, not really homeschool, but the learning at home thing. Like, no thanks. Like, you don't really like, it kills me. They're like, we have a zero bullying tolerant policy. Yeah, but only if anybody actually does anything about it. Then it was, well, the teacher said that they've had to move him all around the classroom. Okay, but have you tried just putting him in a different class? Like, instead of moving him because he's having issues with kids, have you tried, I don't know, disciplining any of them? The gall. As Leonardo da Vinci is known to have produced more than 35,000 words and 500 sketches on flight and flying machines. So this is our stand. I don't know, maybe that's it. Maybe it was just how frank I was about Joe's behavior. She did seem really shocked that he intentionally hurt himself. So, my oldest kind of did that as a baby. We had like the same thing, like sometimes as a new mom or a mom of only one child, they think you're being like over dramatic about everything. Like, that couldn't possibly be happening. You have to be blowing it out of proportion to either get sympathy or whatever they think you're trying to get. But my oldest, as a baby, I mean, he was only a couple years old, not even a couple, like probably just at like a year, 18 months. He I kept saying about how like would like try to hurt himself, or then I'd hold him and he'd like slam his head back into my mouth, to my collarbone, all kinds of stuff. And I was like, sometimes when he gets in trouble or he's just frustrated that he's not getting his way, he'll like smack his head into things. And they're like, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. And I had him at the doctor's office. They did the normal things. They weigh them, they measure them. The doctor came back in and said, the nurse, whoever, like, when they measured him the first time, that it came back as he was shorter than he was the last visit, which obviously isn't possible, right? So they're like, we're going to have to weigh him again. And he did not want to do it. And he was like fighting being picked up by the doctor. And the doctor finally got him up there, held his foot, stretched him out. remeasured him, and when he set him back down on the floor so he could play, he leaned almost all the way back and then slammed his head forward into the floor of the doctor's office. And the doctor was just like, "Holy shit." And I was like, "I told you he does this. I've asked for months for you guys to teach me how to hold him properly so he does not hurt me or himself, and you guys just ignore me and tell me I'm overreacting." And the doctor was like, "Well, you're clearly not. So we're going to get you some classes. Have somebody teach you how you can hold him to help like calm him down without you getting hurt or him getting hurt." I was like, "Thanks. That's only what I've been asking for months." But like he would sit there and like slam his head into cabinets in the kitchen when he couldn't have what he wanted. It got to the point that I ordered this kind of special high chair cover. It was more padded than your normal one. And I put it on his high chair. And when he would throw a temper tantrum, I would just strap him into the high chair because his high chair had like over the strap, like over the shoulder straps, almost like a car seat, like a 5 point harness type deal. And I just wouldn't put the tray on. And then he could smack his head around all he wanted because it was padded. Yeah. Like I get it. But I don't know what the assumption is that just because people are first time parents or first time mothers, however you want to put it, that they couldn't possibly be telling the truth, right? They've got to be like over dramatizing things. Do people do that? Sure. But just because a small grouping of people do does not mean you ignore everybody or assume that everybody is doing that just because a few people do. And some people feel like they need to do that because the doctor's not taking them serious otherwise. So I have to make it seem worse than it is in order for them to get me to take me seriously. Like maybe the problem all the way around is you. Like as the doctor, maybe it's your fault. So this bag looks like the main body of the flying machine. Like, if I feel like sometimes it's not every doctor, just like it's never everyone of any group, you know? I feel like a lot of times doctors don't completely believe you if it's not like perfect textbook what they've been taught. Like, sometimes things are that way, even if they're not like a textbook example of whatever it is. Because let's face it, there's always outliers to anything. There's always people that have issues, whatever they may be, that don't fit the textbook definition of them. There's always outliers. Yeah. And I mean, his like acting out could in some part be related to his ears. He's in pain. He's not getting help. He's acting out because how out, he may be physically this age, but he is mentally a younger age. Like he doesn't know how to convey in a different way what is happening. He's told you he hurts. You've told the doctor he hurts, but nothing is changing. So he acts out. Is it totally related to that and only that? Probably not. But that could be in part of the problem. Okay, we're just button it up against. Oh no, it does show it over. Okay. Hardly anything in kids happens for strictly one reason. It's always a series of reasons, but okay, I think this is A2. Yeah. I had to get onto Boy Wonder yesterday. He wants to be, this is not the first time we've had this problem, right? So he has a cell phone. He has Discord on his computer. We have the Amazon devices in the house that you can do drop ins with. So, like, I can talk to them through the thing, through an app on my phone. And he wants to be left, he doesn't want to go to the grocery store with me for a shopping trip, whatever. Like, he's old enough to be left home alone for like an hour and a half. That's really all it takes to do the shopping. And that is fine. You want to be at home. You don't want to do the grocery shopping. You want to play video games with your friends, whatever. But then he puts do not disturb on his Discord so he can't see when I message him. He won't answer like a Discord call. He leaves his phone in the bedroom so I can't call him. And because he's got the headphones on and the music turned up, he can't hear me do a drop in on the Amazon devices. And so I have no way to contact him, even though I have multiple ways to contact him. And so I got home and I was like, "You didn't answer again." And he was like, "Huh?" He had to like take the headphones off. He didn't even realize like I had was there. And I was like, "Yo, I tried to call you, message you, Discord call you, drop in, whatever. And you didn't answer." And he was like, "Oh." And I was like, "No, we've been through this before. I gave you a warning. Now you don't get to stay home by yourself. If I go to the grocery store, you have to come with. If I have to run to get your sister somewhere, you have to come with. Because you're leaving me no way to contact you, even though there are multiple ways to contact you. You're choosing not to do the things you need to do." And then I made him get off. He was just kind of like staring at me dead eyed, like still playing the video game. And I was like, "You're not even attempting to get off the computer to help bring the groceries in. I'm done. Get off the computer." So then he stood there with the huffy face. And then after watching me, like, he helped bring in some of the groceries. And then he just stood there staring at me. And I was like, "You're not going to help put stuff away? You're just going to stand there?" And then he was like, "Huh." And he like went to go to his bedroom. I was like, "Oh, no, sir. No, no. Today's going to get a lot worse for you if you don't knock it off." Like, I fully acknowledge we're in our teenage phase right now, but you sometimes your video game is not the most important thing happening, and you need to learn that. Ooh, almost right where it needed to be. Okay, that looks right. Like, you don't get to do the activity of an older child, in this case staying home alone, if you're not going to do the things that you need to. Some things go hand in hand. Right. Like you have to do, if you want the older kid privilege, then you have to do the older kid responsibilities as well. Like you don't get to have one without the other. And I was like, besides, most of these groceries are for you and your sister, not for me. Like it will not kill you to help. There we go. Ah, okay. So it shows it with this up, but obviously this is not going to stand up on its own. It's just going to fall down. Ah, okay. I was like, I don't think that's going to work, but it's got a springy spring, so you got to kind of compress it to get it to sit. Yeah, but like, I didn't make you go grocery shopping with me. The least you could do is get off the computer and help bring in the groceries. Yeah, he's the same way. He doesn't want to leave the computer. And even before he was allowed, because for a long time, we did not allow them to have like unlimited time on the computer. They got like an hour. Like the TV was always kind of on, but they weren't really watching it, more like background noise. But like on the computer, they could have like an hour. And then they'd switch to like, okay, or on the computer. They're like, okay, we had our hour on the computer. Now, can we have, like an hour on a video game? Okay. And then they'd go to an hour somewhere else. But like we tried to limit like that gaming like all the time too soon. Um, like, too young. But even before he didn't really like want to leave the house, and then once you were out he was like having the best time of his life. He'd be like, this is the best day ever. Yeah, but you didn't want to leave the house. And so he's still kind of that way, and now it's like, oh, I have to get off the computer and go somewhere, and he'll like sulk the whole way there. And even in the beginning of being there, he'll sulk a little bit. And then he's like, "Oh my god, I had so much fun. We should do this all the time." Why, you're just gonna fight me to leave the house again? Like, sir. Yeah, he's always been like that. Yeah, I don't know either. Like, right, like, or we go to someplace like the zoo or whatever. You get like different treats that you don't get, and then like there's always like you can get something from the gift shop, this or that, but it's always like a fight to actually leave the house. It's like, why do we have to do this every time? Yeah, like even going to the local zoo, you know, you get an icy or whatever, like a treat while we're there. But it's like the whole time, oh, I don't want to do that. Why do we gotta go? Yeah, I totally get that one, Alex. I don't know why they do it, but I do understand what you're saying. Oh, itchy, itchy, itchy. And like, people are like, just send him outside to play. I mean, currently that's not really the best option because I mean, his doctor has pretty much said like he can't do anything. Um till he gets his knee sorted, like he's like no trampoline parks. In fact, like until he gets more physical therapy in and it gets stronger, he's like don't even ride your bike because they really want to stop it from dislocating again. So there isn't really much he can do outside. Like outside to play in the yard or whatever. Like that's not really anything he can do. Okay, come on. I know there's like 75 blocks here that need to line up, or at least it feels like there is. Oh, there we go. Kinda, sorta. What did? Oh, I see. It clicked in too far up. Oh, come on. There we go. Yeah, I don't understand it. I'll tell him that my sister and her brother-in-law are coming over to pick him up, and he's just about loses because he doesn't want to leave the house. And then they turn up and they ask like butter wouldn't. Yeah, like yeah, but then they like force him into the car or wherever, and you take him there, and he's like, "Oh my god, this is the best day ever! I've never had so much fun in my life." Like, if it's the same way every time, like, why do you kick up such a fuss about going when you clearly like enjoy yourself once you're out? Like, you remember like it being fun the last time you went out, but you still don't want to go out. Yeah. It's like one of those weird oddities. Like I'm not even completely sure they know why they kick up such a fuss. Yeah. Like I said, I don't even pretend to understand why. I just know that's the way it is. So we're working on like the main body of this. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, well, he'll sulk like the whole way there. Like he'll sulk like you know those commercials where they show the kid with like, or commercials, those cartoons where they show the kid with like their hands shoved way down in their pockets and their shoulders are all like slumped in their head and they're like out to the car. He'll huff and puff in the car. And then he'll start to walk around wherever we get to and he's like, okay, oh, I want to go over here, I want to go over there. And then it's like the huffing and puffing never happened. And you're like, sir, really? Like I don't understand. Like he doesn't misbehave, but he'll be like sulky. And then you're like, oh, come on, really? Like, and then he's like, oh, this is great. Like, has it ever been bad? It's like, I guess the initial having to leave the computer. It almost acts, he acts like sometimes he'll never get to go back to it. You know, oh, I clearly missed some things because there is stuff that not should not be left over. This I think I missed right here. Yeah, this part. Just that. The rest of this is like little pieces that are always extra. In case you drop it. Which, you know, is fair. The drops happen and then the pieces wind up in another dimension. This bag I think has like the most pieces so far as you know of the bag so far. Oh, we have another little factoid. It says Leonardo's Ornithopter, built for and test piloted by a friend of the artist from a low altitude, wasn't entirely successful. The machine crashed, and Da Vinci's friend broke a leg. Breaking a leg back then was it could be life threatening, depending on how bad you broke it. Okay, it is a flat piece. I'll be honest, on the box, it has like all you can see is like the string, and I was like, am I gonna have to thread string like all the way through this machine? But it appears there are more like these like connected string by dots, so I was a wee bit worried. I've had to thread the string before. It was not the best experience. he started acting up in the middle of town the other day. They had an event on, and he spotted a trampoline playhouse they had set up. Just remarked that it was there, didn't really seem to care about it. Just said it was there and moved on. We carried on and went to all the shops we needed to, and then on the way back, we passed it again, and they were packing it away. Right, like, so Fantasy used to kind of do stuff like that. She would be like, she would cry because her shoes were on her feet. Like, just take them off. Or she didn't get a juice box. Just, you didn't ask for one, so nobody denied you anything. And she still kind of does that to a certain degree sometimes. She'll remark on something, but she'll say it in a way that doesn't imply she's really interested in it or that she wants to do it. And then when we don't like either acknowledge it or like act on it, she gets mad. And I'm like, well, you didn't say you wanted to. Well, I said it was there. Yeah, but that doesn't tell me you want to do it. You have to tell people what you want. If you want something certain, something to eat or to do a certain something, you can't just comment about it and be like, oh, the fair's in town this weekend. Okay, it is. And then get mad come Monday because we didn't go. Well, you didn't say you wanted to go. Well, I told you it was in town. That doesn't mean anything to me. Like, you have to tell me what you want. I think sometimes those are more like personality traits. Some of it is um like age, like learning that you have to say what you want. Because sometimes you remark on something but you don't actually want to do it, you're just stating that it's happening. Like, and some of it is, like I said, some of it is age and some of it is personality. Because when you've tried to teach them that same lesson 15 times, but it still hasn't taken, it's a personality thing. Like, you know, like, I am not a mind reader. You have to tell me. So that says, oh no, I read that one already. It was just at the end and I read it before the steps. Okay, we are in ads. No buildy doing ads. I'm going to take a drink. Um, I will check his school website while we're on break. As far as I know, he's done. But I always just like to check that they don't do something random. So technically tomorrow's his last day of school, but all they have tomorrow is a school carnival. So I believe so. I know they were talking about at his work that like his boss's boss, kind of way up the chain, decided that they can't have 3 day weekends every weekend anymore. And so I thought that it was going to like take, into effect right away, but he said they're waiting till June to like really start it. This way they had time to like plan who was going to have what weekend, whenever. So he should still be on tomorrow like normal. Um okay, that was the same one. Yeah, he should be on tomorrow like normal. And the weekend that they had decided would be like his first, because I said it like right away. So like they work 10-hour days so that they can have an extra day off every week. So it's like 3 days off instead of two. And I was like, okay, so cool. Then you have off Friday one week and Monday the next week, and now you have a 4-day weekend every weekend or every other weekend. And he's like, it turned out that's basically what they're gonna do. But the first weekend he's supposed to have as a 4-day weekend, the guard local to us is having some kind of doing something on their drill weekend that's different, and they want the guys from his shop to be there, from his work to be there and help them with it. So he has to work like Friday and Sunday of his first 4-day weekend, which makes it not a 4-day weekend. So he's gonna have to get those days off different days during the week anyway. I don't know. But yeah, I believe he plans on being on tomorrow like normal. I don't know what he's building, but building, playing, whatever. He's got an enormous backstock compared to me, so I joke with him all the time that he's gonna come home one day and I'll have gotten tired of seeing one of the sets and I'll have just started to build it. Yeah, Boy Wonder has an appointment this afternoon. It's his first appointment with the endocrinologist, so that we can try to figure out. It's not that he doesn't grow at all, he just grows very slowly, like not on track for his age at all anymore. And now, because of his knees, like it was important before, but now it is really important because they don't want to do that surgery or surgeries until he is done growing. But he's not really growing, so about it, well, I did. Okay, is it 8 or 12? Wrong, it's 10. Okay. I'm looking for another one. There's not another one. Sometimes, I don't know about anybody else, but sometimes the way they do instructions, I was like, that step could have been combined with the step before it. Like, there was no need to make that two steps. Come on, there we go. Okay. It almost looks like some large crossbow at this point, like you're just waiting to knock something and shoot it. Oh, this Steeny escaped. I don't know what it was. And I know Crazy wants to do that like whiskey trail thing. And I was looking at the little brochure thing about it the other day, and one of them is in Memphis, which is only like 2 hours from us. We go to Memphis quite often, so we can do one of those or do that one this summer too sometime. So on the farm trail thing we've been doing, one of the places is a raw milk farm, which I thought was weird because in the States, while it is not necessarily illegal, it is highly frowned upon to drink raw milk. It's unpasteurized and could have like E. coli and listeria and things like in it. So it's like it is illegal to take it across state lines. Um, but it's not illegal per se to like just sell it or ingest it. Uh, but it is one of the places on the little farm trail thing is a raw milk farm. So I looked it up the other day, and I guess they don't sell just raw milk. Like they make cheese and stuff, but I don't know how I feel about cheese made with raw milk either. So, but then again, I'm not quite sure how regular cheese is made anyway. So, okay, it says Leonardo da Vinci was persistent in his idea that the human body could produce enough energy to power a flying machine. Like if you just pedaled hard enough or flapped your wings hard enough, you could go in your flying machine. But yeah, I guess they sell like lamb and stuff too. So maybe that is some of why they were included on the farm trail or allowed to be included on the farm trail. I don't know. Part of me is curious and wants to go, and the other part is like, I don't know. Okay, so it says this goes here, and that there, with this there. Then what about you? Oh, down here. Two of you guys, one of you, one of you, two. Okay, so it says you two go together. You two on top. I do have to get his school stuff all organized so I can send it back. But first, I have to use the printer they sent to print out the return slips. So they want that. Okay, no, I guess not on there. Now that I'm looking at the picture, because I was like, that looks weird. They want it actually like resting above it. And then, okay, it's not all the way in yet. Because we need to build this second piece. Ooh, this is like a revised version of this song. Okay, and then we want this piece in this space in here. Then we push it all the way in. So we have like parts, I guess, that will be for the wing. And then we gotta, of course, build it for the other side. Come on, get on there. But this Sunday again will be a co-stream. We decided on doing it like where you share your chat um with Wargaming. And I know they just did a release like a little announcement that like when you do the thing where you share your chat, it'll be like shared hype trains. So if there is a hype train, it's like we would everybody in both chats would get to like um take advantage of it, I guess is the right thing. Like you, as long as you're in one of them, you would get like the prizes as long as you participated in the hype train. And I see your drinky drink, and I will do it just as soon as I push this through. Yeah, there we go. So I will probably have Crazy help me figure it out because I know he did a co stream like that with like the shared chat with Grand Admiral Quack. So we'll see how that you know he'll have to help me figure it out, and then of course there probably might be some like finickiness at the beginning of the stream, making sure we're connected. It says Leonardo da Vinci's sketches show different flying machines operated by a pilot using various power mechanics, some powered by legs, some powered by legs as well as arms, and others even with rudders connected to the pilot's head. Like, I guess as you look, it turns, but then you'd have to continue to look in that way to get the rudder to stay that way, so that's kind of weird. But I suppose he was experimenting, try everything, see what works and what doesn't. Welcome in, Cosmic. I hope your day is going well and that you are feeling maybe a smidgen better. Oh, fine, that worked. It's the first time dropping Legos has actually worked in my favor. So this kind of, I guess, adds like a bumper to it. Oh, make sure I got yeah, okay. Okay, this way. Oh, upside down. I was like, that still doesn't look right. So just about in line with these. I'm still telling you, it is making me think of like, you know, a crossbow more than a flying machine at this point, but maybe that's just my imagination. Okay, it says Leonardo da Vinci's studies on weight and structure of flying machines also mention force, which would later be defined by Newton as a law of gravity. So now we're going to attach it. So we have it like on a little stand now. It shows it with these both up like this, but obviously, that one's not going to stay up without some assistance, because there's nothing really holding it up at this point. I guess we can kind of like mush this into one group at this point. So we have Paramount Plus, and I've been watching. They kind of brought Criminal Minds back. I don't know if it's showing on like regular TV, if it's just something they brought back like on Paramount Plus. But I've been watching the new episodes. It's called like Criminal Minds Evolution or something like that. So I think this is like the second season of this Evolutions line. And they do go together, the two seasons. You have to like really watch the first one in order to understand what's happening in this one. At least I think so, to like completely understand what's happening. Oh, now we have to like work this in there. Okay, so we want to put this like this, but then we have to push this up kind of in between. And we want this in Okay, let me look. Okay, so there's that. Okay, so we want this in here, but we gotta get the, okay, I think that's kind of lined up. Okay, this is interesting. An interesting choice, ladies and gentlemen. Interesting choice. There it is. You really gotta eye that to make sure it's right. So then we have the dangly bit right there. It's dangly bits. The stand is used to better display and pose the model, but also to support the flying machine as you build. It helps provide better access to all sides of the model. Now we gotta put the little wheelie things. It isn't quite like evenly pushed out, so let's see if we can't, you know, make that a little more even. That looks a little more even. At least, you know, to the eye. Two of those, one of these, you two, and four of you. Okay, it's, oh, I missed these two. Okay. You want this? Like this? Okay, oh, and then use these like caps to help, you know, hold it on. Breaking up back just to know your name. Okay, so they want it like this. They want, so they want you to, okay, I'm trying to do it so you guys can see it, but I still know what I'm doing. So they want you to push this through that, and then, yep, bring these up to here. But they really, okay, they really want it like that. Right, like with more tension, so that, so yeah, like as this pulls, that pulls down. So the dangly bit thing we put in here, like as it goes back, the tail would be pulled down. And then we want to put one of these on there to, you know, help keep that on there. Which again, I feel like could have been in the last step, but whatever. Make sure I got that push tight. Yep. Okay, this says Codex on the Flight of the Birds, published in 1505, contains Leonardo da Vinci's studies and investigations on flying. Now, bag 4 and all our wingy parts. So we have our 3 pieces, our two main wings and our tail. And our fourth bag. There's also the final bag of the build, so. Come on. Come out of the bag. And we should, on the box it shows like a little Da Vinci minifigure, so. Okay. Two of these. Four of these. Jupiter, which I think is like some kind of spider Pokemon. Okay, I have not seen these pieces before. It's like a. I've seen one similar, but this is more like clamped down, squarish here on this end. Trying to. Of course, you're just gonna fall over. I've not seen a piece like that before. Okay, now they want these like this on this pole. Come on. You gotta get it just right, you know? Because it's got a. Nope, that was backwards. Because it's like that cross pole with that cross design, so you have to get it just right, or it won't just slide on. Okay, now it says we make two of these. So, one and one, along with one and one. Come on. Does anybody have any plans for this weekend? Even if the plan is sleeping all weekend, it's still a plan. I don't know that we really have anything planned. I know on Monday we're going to one of Crazy's coworkers for like a Memorial Day picnicky barbecue thingy. Things keep sliding underneath my little stand here. Okay, now we put these thingies. It doesn't really show like one side front to back, so we'll just do this. Okay, now this goes on here like this, and then we bring this part up and clippy clippy. Same on the other side. To help hold our wings up, right? Oh, look at that. Okay, now we're going to build another part that we will attach later, just like the pieces we've been doing. This one does not say build to, so look at me remembering to look for that. I usually don't, and then I'm like, I get to the end and they're like, you should have two. What? Where? Where did it say that? And I go back and I find where it said, yes, indeed, I was supposed to build two. Okay, you want to turn this sideways. Well, actually like this, and then like this. Now, sideways with this on there, tilted kind of up, and this in said piece. Then you, 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 and one of you. This like this, then this, and this with in here. Like that. We need one of these. It says, we'll bring this back. Let me look here. Okay, so so sorry, I'm like, how do I kind of see, but I don't at the same time, you know. So, oh, okay, I see now. So I was like, I do, but I don't, like this, and then you want to slide this in here so that you're in that kind of in between space where, okay, and then you want to bring it up back through this one too. And then you want this on that little ball that's kind of hidden in there, you know, from earlier, like that. Now it just had me push it straight back through. So maybe later we'll put something on, like cap on the back, or maybe not. But that's how it looks now. See, straight through, and then attach to that ball down there. So now we have like total wing synchronicity. And of course, we're going to build one for the other side too. So, back to this. You know, slightly different because it's for the other side. Okay. New. Okay. Welcome in, Devin. We are working on our flying machine. Okay, let me finish this like collection of steps because they kind of all go together, and then I will do your brick text. But this will allow me not to mess myself up somewhere. Thank you for the biddies, crazy. Okay, away from us. And this is why I should have done it this way. Okay, so. Oh, wrong one. This one. This. And this. Then this. And like that. And the pin. Okay. Well, we turn it this way so you guys can see it So we want to put this like this and then slide this up in front so that we can push. Come on, there you go. And then we push straight through. And we take this bar and we connect it to that little ball inside there again. So again, now we have, wing movement. Okay, now I will do the Bricktacks that Devin redeemed. I was gonna say requested, but I'm like, no, that's not really the right word. Okay, here is what we had prior. So now we need one, two, and a little heart brick. Come on. So we have our little heart there. And then this. So we really only have like one more step, and then we're done with this Bricktacks, and then we'll have to choose a new one. Okay. So 2 of you, 2 of you, and 2 of these. So I want this like this, then poke, and then like that. And we'll do it twice. And then we'll bring this back, and we want to put them. So if you do, oh, right here, okay. Like that. And this again does not say build to, so. Okay, I was like, I'll just leave this here, but no, I won't. It makes it hard for you guys to see what I'm doing with my hands. Make sure these are, woohoo, I got it right the first time. And these on either end. Woohoo, we caught it, Devin. Mommy. Hi. Listen, if you're a mom, you know how true that little bit is. Okay, these don't look different either way. Come on. Okay. Bring this back here. And this part goes right there. If I can get it to, go on both pegs. There we go. Okay, it says Leonardo da Vinci was inspired and fascinated by winged animals while studying possibilities of human mechanical flight, and he hoped to replicate these animal movements with his inventions. Okay, 2 of those, 2 of these, 2 of these, and the stringity string. I'm just going to move it back a little bit. We got to take this tape off. Dance, kid, dance. So it says here, and this, and of course this to help hold it on, and same on the other end. Okay, now the fun. It says take it off our little stand. Flip it upside down. Okay. We want it on the back of this. Oh, it's going to be like that. I'm going to squiggle that down in there. Okay. I have them lined up kind of correctly, but I'm going to attach them down here so that, you know, I can do it better in a second. Right, like all this. It doesn't show it like down in between, just kind of right there. Then it wants this here to create like a slot where it'll stay. Okay. Now, of course, we bring it back, put it back on our stand. Yeah, so, you know, it holds everything like in line. So your little cord doesn't get trapped somewhere. Rude, Alex. It doesn't want you to watch. That's so rude. How crazy is this? This gun says no joining fee and no commitment. However, you have to pay a payment plan. This gun, I assume you mean something other than gun. This gym. Yeah, that sounds like a commitment, and yeah, that's sounds like a joining fee and a commitment to me. But what do I know? W's. So I know, what was it, a couple years ago there was a thing about Planet Fitness, the gym. You know, they're 10.99 a month or whatever, $10 a month to join to be part of their gym. But there was like a thing that like they would make it exceptionally hard to cancel your membership. Like there was only one person who was allowed to like cancel memberships, and they were like never there. So people started saying, you know, you can go online and change how you pay your membership. Um, but you couldn't cancel it online. So they were telling people, like, it got, you know, word of mouth, social media, whatever, was that like they were saying that you could go on there and change your monthly payment uh type to like a gift card, and then, you know, the gift card would run out of money and you wouldn't have to worry about it. That seems like it's pooling. Okay, let's fix it. There we go. We're gonna have ads in about a minute. They will run for 3 minutes, and I know that seems like a long time, but we get rid of all the pre rolls that way, and it just is what it is. I would hate for someone to sit through pre rolls to only maybe wind up right back in ads. So that's what we do. Okay, fine, I'll do you last. If I can get this thing to cooperate with me, this side seems far less cooperative than the other side did. The end just sits so nicely. Okay, and we're in ads, so I'm not going to build any more. I will maybe make minor adjustments to the wings, but that's about it. Make sure they're sitting right. Really, I think all we have left is to build Da Vinci. Yep. Check off all my redeems. What is this? Okay. Since today is I mean, even though technically they consider tomorrow the last day of school, today is really the last day of school because tomorrow they're just having like a fair carnival thing. There's no grading. So I've been trying to keep on top of any emails coming in from the school. Welcome back, everyone. So, all we really have left to build is Da Vinci himself. So, we have his little legs, and he is a printed minifigure. He's got, his printed clothing. Only one face, because, he doesn't need two faces. Kind of reminds me a little of Dumbledore. Oop. I guess that's supposed to be like a pen. A quill, I guess, rather. And then his little piece of paper there he's holding has like schematics of birds and the flying machine. And it says one final tidbit. The model was designed so that the trigger can be activated in at least 3 different ways: on the stand, while held in one hand, and while held with 2 hands, one on the trigger and the other holding the model. Says one of the design challenges was to figure out where to place the trigger for the flapping function so that the builder's hands don't interfere with any parts of the mechanism or strings. So that little dangly thing is the trigger, so we can hold it and flap the wings. And then, Da Vinci goes down here in the front of the stand. There's 2 little, spots to clip them onto. But yeah, so the wings work, which is pretty cool. So what do we think, guys? I liked this, or like it. It was a nice build. For a lot of it, I was like, this could also be. I feel like you could make my brain farted. A crossbow. There's the word. Like it has the same kind of like shape as a crossbow, and I was like, I could see it. But this is pretty cool. So you just grab the little dangly thing we put, and then when you squeeze it, it pulls all the wings and everything back. And there's not a ton of tink. Yeah, the tail, everything moves. Like the tail goes, yeah, it goes like down this way. There's a little rubber thing. It doesn't move as drastically like as the wings do, but I feel like a tail rudder wouldn't need to move as drastically to kind of get the same movement. So like you could just boop boop little, or you could move it like. And there's not very much technique really involved to get the effect. I like this. I feel like, okay, there we go. There is like a little gap kind of in the base. I wonder if it's supposed to be there. Like down here, there's like a space. Oh, you can't really see it that way. But like, I feel like there's like a gap where like maybe a brick could go. Like, but maybe it's just that there is a brick in there, but like on the second upper half, there's not. I think I know what it is. Yeah, that's what it is. Because we put like a little like curve piece down in there. So yeah, it's supposed to be like that. I was just double checking. Right, gotta mentally prepare for picking Joe up. Thanks for the stream, and I hope the rest is great. Thank you, Alex, and hopefully, a little extra time at school. Maybe they just had him running around outside to burn off some of that energy. I'll be on for about another hour ish. So, you know. But if I don't see you before I get off, I hope the rest of your day goes good and that maybe he's just worn out a little bit more. You know? Maybe he's like buzzed off some of that extra energy. I am going to quickly go put this on the shelf so that we can work on the cross stitch next. There we go. So I don't bump it and knock it over or something. Because knowing my luck, that is exactly what I would do. So I did get my fabric and everything cut out this morning, and I got it onto my thing here. But I did say before that it's like just big enough to like fit in the rods and be pulled tight. It's not like twisted around them very much. So I don't know if I will keep it on here or maybe try to switch to my other one. I don't know. We'll see. I feel like maybe if I could just get it like at least one more click, but I mean I did on one side, so maybe that'll be just enough. We'll see. But Joe Alex helped. I just want to make sure I don't have any like messages from the minions. Um nope, not that I notice. Okay. I had to move my phone because I set it on top of my cross stitch stuff here on the side. So this is the design we decided on. And I do make this a little brighter. One, so I can see a little bit better and you guys can see a little bit better. Um and so like this dotted line here right there is the center. And I did mark the center with my needle. Um you know, so I would know where the center is because I cut it, like to the size it needs to be, with of course extra on the side, for framing. I have to basically start from the center and work our way out. So this right here is the center. And so I try to see what colors used the best or like the most for a little while. That way I'm not changing right away. And it looks like it's this backwards E, which is 471. And it is on the thing with the length going this way, what's wrapped around the longer portion. Because it says it's a 7 by 9, and I added 4 inches, so 11 by 13. So this is the 13, and this is the 11. What did I say? 471. And there was a little note here that said needle gauge like tip, that you'll find it easier to use a size 26 versus a 24 on the 16 count Aida, as it's a thinner needle, like a finer needle, and so it'll fit through the holes better and disrupt the grain of the fabric less, which I did not know on the previous um project, which was also on 16 count, so it would have been helpful then. But I bought some 26s to use in the future. And I'll probably write on the back like a little note that like it's used with 16 count Aida, for future projects. So we need 471. And I bought some more little baggies to put the thread in, because I had to get a fair like 10 new colors to do this one. There's 471. And some of them are in like this. These are what's called floss away, which is like an organization system for these. But some are in just like snack size baggies like this, which is fine. But I needed more baggies for the new colors. So I just bought some more like thinner, smaller baggies. So but we'll see if I keep it on this or if I just go get one of my bigger rings. I really prefer the scroll frame to the hooping rings, because then I don't really have to like unhoop it, you know? So we'll see. It's just really rather a matter of like if I've gotten it tight enough. Okay, so upper right hand side is the first square. Oh, I need to change my category too from Lego to. And I know I'm kind of out of frame for you guys, but I am holding, the back piece to start the thread, and that requires, a little bit of out of frameness. It's hard to be in frame and show you guys. Let's see if I can't pull it over a little bit more and stay out of the other camera. Plus, I have not put this magazine in the best place. Okay. Let me do one or two more, and that'll make the thread good. And then I won't have to worry about holding the back. Oh, this is definitely the thinner needle is definitely much easier to get through this fabric. Okay, let me do this for one, and for two, see if I can't pull this down like this and out of the way. There we go. Out of the way of that top camera. And we will change our category from Lego building to makers and crafters. Update that. Fantastic. And I always double check because it doesn't always take for me for some reason. And cross stitch is already in there. So, but yes, so just the joy of, making sure you're in the right spot. Sometimes I put like a little dot of like water soluble a fabric marker to mark it, and sometimes I don't. Okay, one up. I need to look for. I've seen them as magnets before, but no audio. My wireless headset is charging, but just want to say hi. I've been looking for a while, but been slammed. Hope all of you are well. Welcome in Wargaming, and thank you for the lurky lurk. I feel that I forget to charge mine all the time. Okay, next one up. Anyway, I've seen them as magnets before. So you slide like a larger, more flat type magnet behind your pattern. And then on the top side, you have like a square or like guidelines so that you can just quick reference. You're not having to like find your exact location over the big thing over and over again. I need to try to look for those. It just makes like keeping your where you are a little bit easier. Let's try that. Welcome in, Laura. I hope you are having a good day. We built if you weren't in here before or if you were lurking, who knows. We finished building the flying machine. We did that up, down. Skip space. I did start super early today. So I had thought Boy Wonder's doctor's appointment was at 9:45 this morning. And when I double checked, it was at 1:45 this afternoon. So in order to not miss stream, I started at like 8:30. You know, I think what happened was, so this appointment has been scheduled for like almost 2 months now, but they kept sending me like other people canceling their appointments and so that we could try to move it up sooner. And I think the 9:45 time stuck in my head from one of those updates, and I kept thinking it was 9:45 this morning when it was not. Because I was like, wow, it's weird. I haven't gotten, because the day of your appointment with children's, they send out like, hey, don't forget your appointments today. And then like an hour or two before your appointment, they're like, hey, I know time gets away from us, don't forget your appointments today, like text. And I was like, if it's at 9:45, it's weird that it's like 7:30 and I haven't gotten any text like that. And it was because the appointment was at not at 9:45 but 1:45. Okay, up, down, now, two. So I used to cross stitch a long time ago, like more than 10, well, probably about 10 years ago. And then, as hobbies do, you find a new one and you start doing that instead. And then Carrot got back into cross stitch, and I was like, oh my God, my mother in law. I had given my mother in law like all my cross stitching stuff, thinking that maybe she would do it and use it, but she did not. She just stuck it up in her attic. So I asked her about it, and she was like, yeah, it's just all up in the attic. So I got my Toto goodies and started cross stitching again. This is the one I just finished earlier this week. It's like a fairy with crab apples. So when I lived in England, in Great Britain, I would buy these like cross stitch magazines, which they have here in the States, but they're the exact same magazines. So they're just imported from the UK. They're not like American magazines. They don't have like their own version of them, and they're super expensive because they have to bring them from Europe. So I started getting them on my Kindle for much cheaper like the digital versions. But these are from when I lived in the UK, from like 2003 to like 2006. I think that's right. So, you know, they're old, but the patterns are still good, right? They're old as in publication date, but which way? Okay. So, yes, I've started getting back into it. I have thought about adding a day where I just craft, like I don't Lego build, but I didn't know about adding, like at the same time I'm like I don't know if I want to add another day. So I kind of came up with like a compromise in my brain between the two. Um, I've been trying like on larger builds not to get like wrapped up and build like a crazy amount, like to kind of drag them out a little bit. So I decided that I would on larger builds only build 4 bags. And then with the leftover time, I could craft or I could game some more, whatever. But so that is kind of the compromise I made with myself. Okay, so then 1, 2. Oh, yeah. And 1 here. I am sure, right? Like gaming always works. Like play video games, try new games, game with other people. It all works, right? Like it is a compromise because I don't want to add another day necessarily and then like limit myself on being able to do like real life adulty things I need to do, you know? So skip 1 and 2. Um, but yes, Monday we built Hey Hey. Oh, no, Tuesday. Sorry, not Monday. Tuesday we built Hey Hey, and after that, we looked through at like patterns that I liked in those magazines that I wanted to do, of which there are a ton. And Alex liked this one, and she's like, "That's my vote." And I was like, "Okay, fine." It's not like I won't eventually do them. I hide from adulty things by watching streams too. And part of the reason I didn't want to necessarily schedule another day is that, it is almost summertime, like kids out of school summertime. And so I try to do things with them outside the house. And if I decided to add another day now, that would potentially, I would potentially like be adding another day, but also at the same time going, okay, but this week I'm not going to be on that day, and next week I'm not going to be on that day, and then this week I will. You know what I mean? So maybe in the future, or maybe I'll just have sporadic days where I decide to stream, and they won't really be like any kind of schedule. Like I'll have my normal 3 days a week, definitely, but then I'll just randomly stream from other times. And right now, both the minions are going to physical therapy 2 days a week, which thankfully they did attempt to, and were mostly successful at getting them in at the same time so that I only have to drive there once instead of like, okay, you came today with this one, now come tomorrow with the other one, you know, that kind of stuff that's never fun. And I already missed 2. Okay. That's all right. Ice will fix it. But yeah, currently they're both in physical therapy. So, um, you know, I have to be able to take them to that. Okay. Let's see if we can't squeeze these two X's in, and then we'll start a new thread. Sorry if you guys can hear it. I'm never sure like how much you guys can hear and how much you can't. But somebody is mowing or something outside and they're like making all kinds of noise. If you can't hear it, okay, fantastic. If you can, I'm sorry. There we go. And if I can do another one, boop, there. So this is a plastic scroll frame, and I have a wooden one too, but I need to replace a screw or nut on it. It's like stripped, so it doesn't really keep tightness. Oh, come on, get in the hole. I usually don't play chicken with the thread. I just call it quits, but I only need one more. And I miss these two, or I wouldn't have worried about it. That went underneath it, not in it. But I like my scroll frames more than the hoops because the hoops you have to move over and over, I feel like. Um, and I don't like that. I feel like sometimes it distorts the picture or like catches on the thread, you know? But either way, I don't like it. So I prefer my scroll frames. This one is like clicky. I can't really show you on this one because it's like just barely big enough to fit on it. As you can, well, maybe not you see, but it's not even like wrapped very far around the poles. So, but it clicks into place. So you can hear it go snap, 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 snap. Um, I don't even remember where I got it from. Stop being difficult. Maybe I should get one of those threader things that allows you to cheat thread. But this, let me flip back one page. This is ideally what it's supposed to look like when it's done. Kind of like a country, a little village, car driving through the middle of the village. Sunday, I will not be gaming the whole time like normal. I won't say that I won't game at all, but it will be a co-stream with Wargaming Recon, and we're both going to be building the new night bus. We're gonna do the share your chat thing, and you know, see how that goes. Okay, that's I'm upside down. Listen, Mr. Mouse, I don't need you right now. So 1, 4, up, down. Did these. Then I did this, this, these two, this one, and up here, up here. Okay. I am still not great at like figuring out like necessarily where to have my camera when I cross stitch, so bear with me as I play the game of where to put it. Like, part of me wants to have it like really close down so that you guys can really see what I'm doing. But then the other part is like, maybe that's a smidgen too close. So bear with me while I try to decide by I don't know what means, which is better. Come on, you little thread pieces. What are you doing? Also, I find with the scroll frame, it's easier to do the thing where you press the needle and come back up like this, where you're not going up and down. You know, as long as you can keep your thread out of the way. I don't know if it can make it harder for you guys to see when I do that. Like the way I have to have my hand sometimes to direct the needle, but I do find it's easier to do this with a scroll frame. It gives you enough tension but also enough looseness at the same time to do that, which I know is kind of like a weird thing to say. Less tension and more tension at the same time. Nope, I did that wrong. I wanted to go up here because we're doing it on an angle. Okay, fine. Sometimes it likes to catch like one extra strand, and then I'm like, okay, fine, I give up. I will go back and forth between up down sewing and like the pushing from one hole to the next. I don't really like have a preference. I just go back and forth between the two. But I just want to make sure I'm doing it correctly. Like I'm at the right spot where I'm supposed to be. Okay, next is 3 up from from this one. So 1, 2, 3. Yep, that's right, I think. It's always I think, because I will think I'm correct and then be like, I was not. And 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yep. I did buy the DLC bundle for the jigsaw puzzle game thing I was talking about. So now I have a ton of puzzles to do. So there are different ways to start a cross stitch. I've always just started from like dead center and worked my way like out and around. Um, if you know you're starting X amount of inches, like you've left X amount of inches as a border, you could, count that in and find like a corner, because I left 4 inches. So I could measure 4 inches down and 4 inches in and be like, this is a corner of the project. And then like work your way over. I've never done it that way. We could experiment with it and do that way. Um, but yeah, it's really like up to you. I just always went, oh, well, it marks the center, so I'll just do the center. I keep losing where I am. Sorry, it's very tiny, and then this is not much bigger. So, okay, there, I went there, there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I know you said you like watching Clutch Stitch, Laura. I never know like how entertaining it is for you guys to watch me semi struggle bust through finding the next square, especially when you're like jumping around. Like I'm not sure how much they're enjoying this. There we go. Okay, now we don't want to go down, we want to go towards this back hole. Oh, fine, you win. The first couple colors are always like interesting because you really have to like, you have no markers to go on. Like, oh, it should be as long as it's close to X amount from this. Yeah, I'm at the right spot. You don't have any of that, so you have to count very carefully. There is, if you want to get into cross stitch, but you're like, man, I sucky at the county. There is a version called stamped cross stitch, which the pattern, whatever design, is stamped onto the fabric, and so you're just like going over it with the thread. Sometimes it is on Aida and sometimes it is not. It's just on regular cotton fabric. And you just like start at the edge of where the stamp is and go over. I find with those, when it's stamped like that on regular fabric, it is easy for your X's to not look uniform because you don't have like your standard holes. You're just, if you're off a little bit with one X, not quite at the edge, or, then they can look non-uniform. Sometimes the stamp cross stitch is on Ada, and you have a little bit better like X's because you still have the holes. Okay, for funsies, let's see if we're back where we should be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Mm, 1, 2. We are. So we did good these. Then 1, 2. And this pattern has some fun thread in it. It's called light effect thread. So it'll be like shiny on the pattern or like on the fabric when we're done. There's not very much of it in the pattern, but it is there. And I can show it to you. I can show you the thread in just a second. I have returned. He's tired, currently eating his tea, and then we're going to build some Lego if he doesn't take an age to eat it. Woohoo! I'm glad. Maybe the wearing him out was just what he needed. You know, a little exhaustion. Exercising some of that energy out instead of bringing it home. So let me grab it. He's been playing football apparently. Like maybe that's what he just needed to like run off that excess energy. So this is the light effects thread. It's not the same as like regular thread in a sense. I mean, it's still 6-strand, thread, but it's got like a different texture, a different feel to it. And when you get it on the fabric, it kind of sparkles. Sparkles. Focus, camera. It apparently doesn't want to focus. But yeah, so when you mix it in near other thread, it's gonna really like show up on the fabric. Is there like a park on the way home from picking him up, Alex? Maybe you could let him run off some excess energy before you take him home, even like on the days, um, time allowing, if you don't have other things. Okay. Time allowing, don't have other things to do. He can run some off on the way home. I know that's not always possible. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That should be fine. Woohoo, we're lining up. There isn't. We live right around the corner from Post School's after school club is at his new school. Okay. Well, that's nice that at least they have after school club. I mean, I assume it's really for like parents who have to work and need to pick up their kid later. But I mean, even if you don't need that, you can take advantage of it. So, I mean, some extra socialization and whatnot, run off the extra energy. It's all good. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out where to jump to next. Okay, there's E. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 5. One, two, three, four. Okay, 1, 2, 4. Because there's really 3 in between the diagonals. Yeah. Apparently, he was asking to play Minecraft, then was questioning them as to why they don't have it. Because here we want you to run off your energy, not store it. I saw the funniest video, and it was like one of those things like, yes, you're lying to your child, but also sometimes that's okay. So this guy or this woman, this parent, took like you can buy those things. So you put like a bicycle, like your front tire in it, and you can turn it basically into a stationary bike. They took their kid's bike and stuck it in this thing to make it like a stationary bike, and then like wrapped a extension cord, like pretended they plugged the bike into this extension cord, like wrapped the extension cord around like the handlebars and pulled the extension cord like back like they plugged the TV into it, right? And then told the boy that he had to keep pedaling to get the TV to stay on. And so the mom stood there, or the parents stood there with the remote control, and every time he would stop, they would turn the TV off. Right? And then he'd get to pedaling again, and they'd be like, oh, it turned back on. And keep in mind, the kid was like 4 or 5. So they probably, one, were throwing a fit about going outside, and two, had way too much energy to be inside. So this was like like a parent's crazy idea to like compromise the two. You want to stay in and watch TV? Well, you got to ride your bike to make the TV stay on. You know? Like, is it probably going to bite them later when the kid's like, how come the TV stays on for you and you don't have to ride the bike? But it worked in the moment, you know? Like, sometimes you have to use whatever crazy plan you come up with to make things work, you know? He's not being hurt, and it's exercising all that extra pent up energy. Okay. Like I said, it was a crazy idea, but it worked. So who's to argue about it, you know? I've really got to get like a magnifying or something that allows me to just quickly reference the book versus like stopping and searching and then coming back. Let's see if I can find something. Let's see. Lay Amazon cross stitch. I have a scanner, and I guess I could. It's, I guess, more along the lines of like, it is tiny in the book. And so my eyes want to focus on everything, and it takes a while to like narrow down what I'm looking for. Magnet. There we go. Magnet board. Okay, let me share. So this is kind of what I'm talking about. This is like you put the pattern on it, but I could have swore I had one where you slid like the magnet behind, like, because it was for in magazines or whatever. You slid the magnet behind the page, like the bigger magnet, and then put the smaller ones so you had like a guideline. I guess kind of like this. So like this bigger piece would go behind the page. I have something like this, but it really only magnifies one line at a time, and that doesn't help anything. Ah, yes, this. See where that's helpful. I like that. And look at that. It shows you 11 count, 14 count, 18 count, 22 count. I like this. And it's only $7. So we will add to list that I like cheap and efficient. Is it? Oh, and it's got like 2.3 thousand reviews. So that is probably what I will go with. But scanning it could work too, where I would have, I could enlarge it as needed. Okay. I'll probably order that though, because oh, I'm starting to get a headache from that. Yeah, I could zoom in with the PC. Like this one is technically like kind of on 2 pages. So I would have to try to like see if I could get this in and then like clip this part out, of the scan, like cut it out and like move them closer together. Or if I have to do it as two separate scans, like merge them, which I'm sure there's a way to do. I would just need to figure it out. Yeah, stop looking at Amazon before I fall down a dangerous rabbit hole. I found a $7 solution that's not continue going anymore, or else we will just spend the next half an hour looking at stuff on Amazon. But yeah, oh, I will totally like fall down the rabbit hole of Amazon with very little provocation. But yes, I would be zooming in would help, but I think more than zooming in, my problem is that I want to like my eyes try to look at everything instead of just the little backwards E's. You know. And as you add more color, it becomes easier. But when you're doing like the first couple colors, oh, I'm out of Ultra Balls. Thank you for letting me know. I will buy some more. Um uh excuse me, toolbar. I don't know what you were doing there. Oh. Okay, there we go. I was like, okay. Pokeball community game. Store shop. Ultra Balls. 20, because that's as most that I can buy. But I can do it like 50 times. Because I has all the monies. At one point, I had like 200 of them, so there we go. I bought a couple. I bought, 20 a couple times, so what does that put me at? 100, so that'll be fine. Let's see what the are. Thank you, Alex. I honestly don't like look at it really. I just let it do its thing, which is probably not the best of methods, but a method nonetheless. Okay, I have to check something on my phone really quick. Do, 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 do. Yes, the neighbor is mowing his lawn. I know there's movement at my side. Okay. You're welcome. Most people ignore bots. They have set up in their chat. Well, I used to watch it like more accurately, and I do check to see if I've caught it or not. But I wasn't really paying attention when it was saying like I didn't have any more balls left. I'm like, oh, it throws a ball. I wasn't, like I said, I would look to see if I caught it or not. I wasn't paying attention to it saying I had no more balls. Okay. Something, something. Something, somethings. I am somewhere. Okay, I think right there. Yeah, two over, then three down. Maybe that's not right. This might be wrong. I gotta figure out where I was. Okay, up. Oh, yeah. Okay, two over, then there. Okay, I missed a couple E's, so I'm just gonna undo these last couple stitches just so I make sure I get them all. I mean, I probably get them other ways, like, go back later, but I'm right here and it's really not that much, so. Okay. I was here. Right there. Okay. Undo this one a little bit more. So this. I didn't mess up really. I just missed things. And I just want to go back and get them. Okay, so there. Okay, yep. Then here. Oh, it slipped right back out the hole. It didn't want to go. It's because I'd already used that hole, so it's a little bit wider than normal. So, especially since I like pulled back through it. So, there we go. Okay. Okay, so we're right there. Should be. Yep, just two in between. Yep. And I try to look for more than like the exact, just the single net stitch. I sometimes see it and sometimes not. So, okay, then we'll go diagonal to that one. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over. Okay. Two, three, four. Nope. I almost missed an E again. Truthfully, I've probably missed a ton of them, but that's, fix it if it's not too terribly hard to. Okay, and that shows two more connected to this on an angle. Part of me is always like, oh, I just keep messing up. Nobody wants to see me continually mess up. And then the other part is like, no, especially if somebody's starting out, it's good to see that, like, you mess up. Like, just fix it or come back and get it later. Okay. I did two, but it wants one more. before we start going in a different direction. So this one, then this one, then 1, 2, 3, and one this way. And then it looked like 2 spaces. Yeah, and then 2 next to each other. For about 15 minutes left, and then I'm going to grade out. This way I don't have to necessarily like grade and run right away. I'll have a little bit of time. I should have went the other direction with this final thread. To better connect it to the next one. That way I won't have to raid and run into whoever we get into. I can stay for a not a terribly long time, but you know, a little bit. Okay. Angle up, angle down. And I know when I'm talking to myself about like where to go next in the pattern, what I'm saying makes no contextual sense to anybody. It should not be attempted to be duplicated. Sometimes I say it and I don't even really pay attention to how I describe it. My brain's just like, yes, we understand. And then I think about it and I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. What the hell am I talking about? Five up. 2, 3, 4, 5. To me, stick to me like caramel. Okay, 1, 2, 3 in our connectee. And I'm going to go this way a little bit so that I can start to come back. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, that'll be right. I think 1, 2, 3, maybe 1 over. 1, 2, 3 in between. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, okay, that's right. And I imagine watching like one cross stitcher work and watching another, you would see like probably a lot of differences between how one does something and how the other does something, which is okay because you need to, if you're going to cross stitch, you need to find like whatever way works for you. Ugh. Oh no, I didn't miss it. It's there. I was like, did I miss one? Dang it, I didn't though. I didn't. Woohoo. Never getting, never getting out of here. This is just settle down. Never getting out of this place. Welcome to Suffocate City. You've had to know, boy, that just the happen when you pull the plug. You're never getting out of this place. Welcome to Suffocate City. Okay, now it should, if I'm going the right way, it should match up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. A matchy matchy. Now we know this way. Let myself break, finally break. Break the cycle, rules escape. 'Cause there's no escape. Never getting out, never getting out of here. The city settled down. Never getting out of this place. Come to Suffocate City. And sometimes on stream, I feel like, wow, I got nothing done. Like when I cross stitch, I'm like, wow. Like, did they just watch me do nothing for 3 hours? But it is what it is. Because I feel like, you know, when you're doing like a large project, there's a lot of jumping around and stuff. So you gotta kind of roll the dice. Now, the question is, would you guys like me to only work on this on stream, or do you not care and then you'll just watch what I do on stream and, do whatever? Because I know not everybody tunes in every time. Sometimes you can't. Life. Um, so come on. I will say I'm finding this size needle harder to thread than the other one. Did I mess that up? Okay, sorry. I was like, did I just do those last two ones in the wrong spot? It is possible. Okay, then I had this double. Where did I think I was looking? I did put them in the wrong spot. I don't know what I was doing. I must have attempted to look at the thing and then saw a different spot than where I really was. Oop, now I keep bumping the camera. Yeah, I'm not sure where I was looking. That's all right. At least I didn't like leave it there and then find it away later. Come on. You totally started to go through and then we're like, no. Okay. Let's do this different than I had planned. I don't know if the hole's smaller. I don't think it is. Like the eye of the needle. I don't think it's smaller or thinner or anything like that. This thread just does not want to. Okay. Okay. This is. I think somewhere in my menagerie of items, I have what they call like string, like thread wax. Basically, it helps the threads stick together. Maybe I need to hunt for that this weekend. You basically like run the strings along it, and then it like helps them stay together. Yeah, these just, I don't know. These went in much easier than those did. But we will get this portion of thread back in, like get our next section started. Um, okay, and then we will find somebody to stream raid into. I was gonna say stream into, but that's not right. I think I was looking at the right spot potentially, but then did it too close. Okay, so there, and we did this, and we came over. Okay, so two on a diagonal from this, and then we will find somebody to raid to. Honestly, I'm probably gonna raid in a carrot, cause if he's still on, um, because it'd be simple, and I can just hang out without any like mental, you know. Let's see if he's still on. He is. Okay. So yeah, we'll do that. We will do. Nope. You silly, can I get /raid carrot underscore cleric. I'll do the other way. I'm not sure if it'll work, but because I need to pay. I need to do the dollars. Okay, stream ending. Thank you for everybody who hung out. I hope you had a good time watching my crazy cross stitching. I really did like the flying machine. It turned out nice. Um, I will be back on Sunday. Um, with the co-stream for with for whatever those words are. Wargaming Recon, and we'll both be building the night bus. We're gonna do the shared chat thing. But yes, hopefully you had fun in here, distracted you from work. I hope you have a great day and a good weekend. Jesus, I can't talk today. Um, I will probably maybe do a little bit of the cross stitching in between streams. I might not. I don't know. We'll see. And also this coming week we will start on another big build. But we have the Medieval Village or the Natural Museum of History.